The no-planers, ladies and gentlemen, are operatives at the top. They're handling you. They're manipulating you. They're meant to act wacky and crazy and mix crazy stuff in with it.
Hey everybody, this is Matt Nelson of 911conspiracy.tv, where I've collected most of the no-planer Disinfo videos here with some help. That doesn't include this one by Ron Johnson. In 7 months, it's amassed 3.2 million hits. You'll notice it's in 360p max, yet it purports to analyze 9/11 video. It's par for the course for these guys. And you'll notice the loose change music from Loose Change. Yeah.
This newly compiled footage from the National Institute of Science and Technology.
Standards and Technology.
Is going to blow you away. Pay attention to the details. Do you see anything strange? Let's play it again.
Oh yeah, let's. This footage comes from Gamma Press. It's number 24 on my list of 61 airplane videos. My research got me a spot on the Loose Change website, so I can say that Loose Change does not support Ron's video. Let me show you Dylan Avery arguing with the no-planer Nico Haupt about 9 years ago.
90,000 hits on live video on the evidence of TV fakery.
TV fakery. We're covering up nonsense.
So they're giving the media a free pass. They let CBS, CNN, Fox actually let go, continuing the fakery.
Yeah? What fakery, Nico?
Well, you would agree that Bin Laden is not the real Bin Laden, or you're using all the Bin Laden.
Actually, no, I've gone through the real footage and it is Bin Laden.
Oh, you Bin Laden.
What does that have to do with planes not hitting the World Trade Center?
Hangout truth. He said that some footage is fake, but some is not. And
what does this have to do with no planes hitting the World Trade Center? How did they fake the video? How did they fake thousands of witnesses?
Watch September Clues. It's all laid out over there in the movie.
It's September Clues.
It's bogus, Nico.
No, it's not bogus. You are bogus. You linked it to Sparky, which Quebec.
Have fun with it.
It's street theater. My main point is Truth Action is the only group within the Truth movement figured out that Alex Jones betraying them because they were not mentioned.
Notice behind him this sign that says no planes hit the World Trade Center. Watch September Clues.
Action every month is also dismissed.
You'll get a kick out of this 2009 documentary that aired on National Geographic.
Was a day America will never forget. But millions believe there was more to the attack than we were allowed to know.
Why the secrecy?
It's Dylan Avery
speaking. If we were taken by surprise, if this truly was a surprise terrorist attack on our country, why the secrecy?
They believe.
Right. See, that's how it works. Dylan was asking a very good question. Why the secrecy?
I took the time. This is an important commission, and it's important that...
Why was it 2004 before they got a hold of Bush?
So that they can help make recommendations necessary to better protect our homeland. And but it was I enjoyed it.
In this morning's New York Times lead editorial, the president's testimony, it would have been a pleasure to be able to congratulate President Bush on his openness in agreeing to sit down today with the Independent Commission on the 9/11 attacks and answer questions. Unfortunately, Mr. Bush conditioned his cooperation on stipulations that range from the questionable to the ridiculous.
Kind of like speaks for itself. It says to me that we're not going to get the truth about anything they have to say.
Our next call comes from Houston, Texas. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I think that people are so blind when they call in. Why is Bush requesting that it's not under oath, that there's no transcript taken, that there's no audio transcript taken, that there's no written transcript taken, that Dick Cheney has to be with him holding his hand under the table like the Olsen twins?
That's awesome. This next clip comes from 9/11 Press for Truth, which is highly recommended.
Senator Tom Daschle said last week that you called him several times and urged him not to investigate the events of September 11th.
Tom's wrong. He has, I think, in this case, well, let's say a misinterpretation.
He said on one occasion that the president asked him to do that at a breakfast meeting. Are you now saying that they weren't asking to block an investigation?
And when they got the investigation going, they wanted Henry Kissinger to lead the commission. Check out this video from Robbie Martin, a very heavy agenda American anthrax.
Shinobi announced, FBI announced last night that they had found a second letter in the congressional mail system that was addressed to Senator Leahy.
Were the letters that were directed to myself, to Senator Daschle, to Mr. Brokaw, to others.
Patrick Leahy and Tom Daschle were two of the most vocal opponents of the Patriot Act.
That's right, the Patriot Act. Did you forget about that? Next.
ABC News and other outlets that really were pushing this Iraqi angle. But the way that the story disappeared, I think, is another part of this. The fact that it wasn't followed up on. Can you speak to the media silence and of course the media targeting in the attacks themselves and how that might have played a role in the silence that followed?
Robbie Martin.
Well, it's interesting. I've pondered this question a lot because, as you said, it seems to have kind of disappeared. It doesn't seem that like any journalists out here in this country are that interested in digging deeper into the story. And I think that the answer to that is pretty simple, although it's kind of a dark, unpleasant answer, is that journalists were actually targeted and one of them was murdered with anthrax. Now, it might have been a coincidence, but this journalist working for the Florida Sun is one of the only people that I know of to write a tabloid expose on the Bush daughters. Out of all the people in the country who have been targeted with weaponized anthrax, the first person in 25 years to die from it writes an embarrassing story with both of Bush's daughters humping each other on the ground at a drunken frat party.
Off with his head. But, let's talk about this. Obviously, we're not seeing the nose of the plane. This is September Clues. This comes from September Clues. Loose Change would be appalled to have any association with it. It's obnoxious. You just have to watch it. It's so stupid. Alright, here we go. He's comparing a plane.
100 miles an hour.
He's comparing the World Trade Center to a giant thick block, when it actually looks like this. This is finite element analysis, which scientifically proves the plane could pass through the wall of steel columns.
But the wall designed to move and absorb energy, did it?
Designed to move and...
When dealing with nuclear material, no test.
I'll check this out. I'm going to fast forward to where he's talking about cutscenes.
Then started recording again. Unfortunately, we see this same tactic play out on multiple FOIA NIST videos from that very same day. In this video, they did it again.
They did it again, did they? You might not notice this, but you can see the plane right when he turns it away. I'll show you. At 3 frames, when I sped it up to 60p, 60 frames per second, you can see the plane. It's on my list. Number 28. Thank you, Joshua Lentz, aka Joshua Good. This is Matt Nelson for 911conspiracy.tv saying, don't take the bait. Peace.